are back on your Saturday morning with your health. And this morning, we're looking into that big announcement on Friday from the U.S. Surgeon General about the link between alcohol and cancer.
Vivek Murthy says that he wants to see warning labels on all bottles and cans, similar to what you see on packs of cigarettes, to alert people to the dangers of drinking.
A lot of questions. NBC's medical contributor, Dr. Natalie Azar, is here with more. First, Dr. Nat, nice to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you all, too.
So let's break this down. What does the science actually tell us here, and where is the jury still out on this?
Okay, so I think the take-home message for our viewers today is that we have known for decades that alcohol is linked to cancer, that it is what is called a carcinogen. And this is what the Surgeon General is trying to communicate to everyone, that knowing this, that means that alcohol is what we call a modifiable risk factor for cancer. So if you're concerned about your cancer risk, decreasing the amount of alcohol or eliminating alcohol could theoretically decrease your risk. In his report, these are the data points that he's offering us, that alcohol is linked to 7 types of cancer: mouth, throat, larynx, esophagus, liver, breast, colorectal, that about 16% of all breast cancer cases are related to alcohol, and that alcohol represents the 3rd leading preventable cause of cancer behind tobacco and obesity. It's a lot. It's a lot of sobering news. Yes, that pun was intended, but this is what he is trying to communicate to the American public at this time.
I think one reason people are struggling to maybe wrap their heads around it is because we get so much contradictory information about alcohol. For example, hearing drinking red wine can be good for your cardiovascular health. Help us make sense of it.
Okay, and this is really important. The 2 big things: health, heart health, and cancer. Cancer, let's put aside. That is an established risk, as I just said. The heart health gets a little bit nuanced. There was a report a few weeks ago from the National Academy of Medicine, which is a very prestigious group, that made 3 different declarations. One was about the breast cancer risk, and the other one was that moderate drinking, which currently is 1 drink a day for women and 2 drinks a day for men, could lower the risk of cardiovascular disease and all-cause mortality. A lot of issues with that report, and one thing I will just say, other things like a glass of wine might be associated with other healthy behavior that is not taken into account. So there's been a lot of pushback from experts to say that alcohol is good for your heart health. What we do know is that people who drink 2 drinks a day, there will be 5 more cancers out of every 100 women, and there will be 3 more cancers out of every 100 men who drink 2 drinks a day. And the amount of alcohol consumption, the increased risk goes along with that. So the less you drink, the less the risk, and the more you drink, the higher the risk becomes.
Where do you think this ultimately goes? Because I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time getting their heads around something that they are so accustomed to.
Right.
Whether or not you thought that it was actually good for you.
Yeah.
People don't treat alcohol like cigarettes, mostly. So where is this going to go?
So when they surveyed Americans, only about 45% of Americans acknowledged or understood or knew that there was a risk of alcohol and related to cancer, as opposed to 89% of Americans who knew that risk existed for tobacco. So one of the biggest pushes from the Surgeon General is to have the label changed, which hasn't been changed, by the way, since 1988, and currently just states don't drink if you're pregnant and don't drive a car if you're pregnant. This is going to take congressional approval, so we'll see whether or not that happens. But needless to say, the more it's discussed, the more we talk about it. If you're sitting at home and you're concerned about your cancer risk, this is something that you can modify as opposed to your biology and your family history, which you can't do anything about.
Important to have that conversation and have the science to actually explain it. So thank you, Dr. Azar.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.